Parashat Vayikra. So we're starting the third book of the Torah, Parashat Vayikra, Parashat Tahara, Kedusha, Tinokot Shebet Ramban. The little kids, we start with them the Parashat of Vayikra. There's for sure, it's not the same thing as Bereshit Shemot. You have stories of Adam HaRishon, Noach, all kinds of stories. You have Yaakov Avinu, Shevatim, Yosef Nimkar. It's a different type of book. Shemot, Am Yisrael is going to Egypt, Moshe Rabbeinu, and the Aser Makot. It's a different type of book. And that's why sometimes people, unfortunately, they don't find a lot of interest in the book of Vayikra. What are you speaking about? Korbanot. Right? Nefesh kitecheta, you have to bring korban chatat, you have to bring korban todah. What is that korban is all about? Which type of animal? Shor, say, is it a female, is a male? Right? Batzafon, shchatam batzafon. A lot of people, but we have to know that we're close to Mashiach times, right? And when Mashiach is going to come, okay, maybe we don't have a chiyuv of Bet HaMikdash, but the Kohanim for sure, yes. That's why they open a yeshiva today in the Kotel HaMaravi. They have a yeshiva for Kohanim. And they're sitting and learning just halachot of korbanot. Why? Because when Mashiach comes, you don't have time to play around. Oh, well, what do we do? No. When Bet HaMikdash, Rashi says in Daf Nun Gimel in Sukkah, Bet HaMikdash השלישי יבוא מוכן מן השמיים. The Bet HaMikdash is going to come directly mishamayim. We don't have to build. The only thing, we don't have the zchut to participate. So Rav Schwab in Maayan Bet HaShova, he says, "Alanu yet zchut lasim את הדלתות." זה המכה בפטיש. Like we finished the job. Hashem is going to bring the building. It's going to miss the doors. So the doors we're going to have the zchut to put. Am Yisrael is going to have the zchut to put the doors, right? But Bet HaMikdash is going mishamayim.
We can also tell the Kohanim what to do.
Exactly. So they're supposed to know what to do. Not everybody is a Kohen. Not everybody knows. Kohanim, this is their job, right? So today a lot of Kohanim, you ask them to know what's going. Like there's interest in Magen Avraham. Magen Avraham kotev b'ilchot. I think it's Siman Nun Daled. He writes the first part of the davening in the morning, which is called korbanot. If you read it velo, you don't lo mevin lo yatsa yedei chova. Because the first part of the davening, of the tefillah, is made for limud. לא בגדר תפילה, בגדר לימוד. כתורת, קורבנות, כל זה לימוד. כן? So you should have the zchut to learn. If you don't have a chance, some people, right after Anan Shabbat, they have to run. So sometimes they don't have the zchut. So at least they got already to part of learning in the tefillah. But if you don't understand what type of limud, the only limud that you don't understand, you would say, is Zohar HaKadosh. כתוב שזוהר, גם מי שלא מבין, הנשמה מבינה. Right? The neshama understands the Zohar, so it's good. They say, אפילו זה טוב, it's good every Friday night, בתוך הסעודה, או after the סעודה, אתה לוקח ספר זוהר, אתה קורא כמה שורות.
Also תורה שבכתב, לא?
Right? תהילים is תפילה. תהילים is תפילה. So there's part of תפילה, there's part of לימוד. If you could understand, people get more enjoyment when they understand. You ask a lot of Balei Batim, why they don't pray with kavanah? Because the guy doesn't understand. So that's why a lot of people, they prefer to pray with translation. So at least they understand what they're saying, right? But what simcha do you have when you understand? Especially korbanot. When you understand the korbanot, wow. When you read it every morning, you say, wow, you feel like you're in Bet HaMikdash. Wow. So Vayikra is a type of a book that people sometimes, chas v'shalom, they don't find so much interest because it speaks about certain things. But the Kohanim today, that we're so close to Mashiach, they have a chiyuv kimat to learn this book. And they have a chiyuv to learn korbanot. They have a chiyuv to learn the Rambam. There's a yeshiva. If they want to go to yeshiva in Israel, there's even Machon Mikdash in Israel. They're found in the Kotel. Machon HaMikdash, they made already bigdei kuhuna, kelei Bet HaMikdash. They made the kelim. The Bet HaMikdash is going to come in Hashamayim, but you need kelim. You need mizrakim, you need sekinim, you need all kinds of things. They are making it from gold, from silver. They prepare bigdei kuhuna. They prepare. Why? The first day the Bet HaMikdash is coming down, you don't play around. You start the service the same day. The same day. Korban, I don't know if it's going to be in the morning. תמיד שבבוקר, if it's going to be in the afternoon, תמיד שבין הארבעים. Whatever is going to be needed, the first day, לא להשתאות, right? But still, עם כל זה, with all this, there is a lot of limudim, there's a lot of things we can learn from Sefer Vayikra, right? From the whole Sefer. I want to choose one topic for today, for Parashat Vayikra. And the topic is, we're starting about all kinds of korbanot, right? And towards the end of the parasha, we're speaking about type of people that sin. Nefesh ki techeta, nasi ki echeta, ken? Kohen Gadol, when he sins, right? Chatat HaKaal. We speak about the type of people. So we have the korbanot and we have the people that sin. One of the themes, one of the things, speaking of parasha, it says, nasi, asher nasi echeta. Asher nasi echeta. Normally, you should have said, nasi ki echeta. Ma ze asher? So the Gemara is learning from this, asher nasi echeta, Rashi brings it down, c'est ashre nasi she'echeta. Ma ze ashre? You want him to sin? Chad shalom. No. Ashre nasi, happy is the nasi that able to admit his fault. Hu nasi, right? Now imagine he has to admit his fault in front of people. As a bizayon. Right? It's not such a pleasant situation, right? We found already in the Torah and Bereshit, we found already a situation like this. Yehuda, he's condemning Tamar lamavet. She's pregnant with twins, right? Otziua v'tisaref. You have to burn her. Zanta, she committed adultery, unacceptable, right? So Otziua v'tisaref, right? And she says, right? Laish asher ele lo anochi ara. She gives him simanim, his ring, the staff, amakel shelo, and the cape, right? Oh, tzadka mimeni. Imagine to yourself, in this bed din was sitting his father Yaakov Avinu, right? His father was there. The Shvatim were there. Kol Shvatim hayu shama. Whoever Jewish was there, right? And he's condemning her to death. What? You're not lo mitbayeshet. You're not embarrassed. You committed adultery. Bet Israel is, you know how much. Right? As a bizayon. What a bizayon. But he was strong. He could have let her burn. She wouldn't say nothing. He could have let her burn, right? V'nigmasi no one know anything, right? That's it. Ashrei nasi echeta. Ashrei ador. She'anasi modeh al peshav. This is a ma'ala, this is a big ma'ala, that somebody can say, oh, sorry, it's my mistake, right? Not every, לא כל אחד יכול לעשות את זה. Even sometimes, why do people have shlom bayit sometimes? Why do people have shlom? Because it's hard to say, oh, my wife, I'm sorry, את צודקת, you're right. Or sometimes it's the wife. It's hard for her to accept that she was wrong, right? So, you have to understand, ashrei means, like, ashrei yeshuv betecha, Ashray shelach, all this ashrei is a ma'ala gdola. If we say on somebody ashrecha, right? Ashrecha shata zoche, you able, right? You have kochot. Takes a lot of. It's not physical forces. It's spiritual force to be able to admit your fault. And I want to give you a few examples, right? In the Tanakh, we find the Tanakh compares. The Gemara brings a comparison between Shaul HaMelech and David HaMelech, right? What's the difference in Shaul? Lama Shaul lo nimshecha malchuto? Why Shaul is very short term, right, of malchut, of kingdomship, and why David nimshecha malchuto? Kan? When Shmuel HaNavi is telling Shaul HaNavi, Lama lo machita et Amalek? Why didn't you erase him? I told you, Timche et zecher Amalek, mi'ish v'ad isha, me'olel, הוא הביא את המלך, he brought Agag HaMelech, he brought the tzon, he brought everybody, right? And because of that, nolad Aman. Aman was born from this whole story, right? How does Shaul get out of the situation? Oh, ki chamal ha'am. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Chamal ha'am. They saw the cattle, they saw the sheep, the oxes, the bulls, they saw the ladies, they saw the children. Man, I hope you're going to kill children. Chamal ha'am. V'atam, and you what? Right? Lo hoda. What happened over there? So Shmuel Omer, okay, we're going to do korban. Wait for me till I come. He got late. At the end, he did the korban before Shmuel came. And Shmuel got upset. And Shmuel is about to leave. He holds him. He wants to hold him back. And then karalo takanaf. He tore his kanaf amil. Amar lo kara Hashem et malchutecha. So Hashem tore your malchut. You're not going to be king anymore. David HaMelech is going to take over. Right? And then David in his turn, there's a story of Bathsheba. Right? Agmara omeret, kol omer David chata eno latoeh. But when Natan HaNavi comes to him, he tells him a story. What's the story? You know, Yerushalayim, There's two neighbors, Ashir ve'ani, a rich guy, a poor guy, and the rich guy had son larov and everything, ובא לו אורחים, he got guests, and what happened? He says, what? I'm going to take from my flock a sheep and slaughter it. הלך לעני, which had only one sheep. He takes it, he steals it, he slaughters it. דוד המלך קם, he gets up, he's burning fire, מה? חייב מיתה, you have to kill this person, איזה רשע וזה. אז הוא אומר לו, זה אתה. מה אומר דוד? הוא אומר, דוד, חטאתי להשם. מחילה. הוא הבין, he understood right away. אתה, יש לך six wives. And he has only one, he has elder than one wife, אוריה החיתי. And you go take his wife, חטאתי להשם. There's something beautiful, הגאון מווילנה אומר, חידוש יפה מאוד. חטאתי להשם, it says in the pasuk, it says in the pasuk like this, ויאמר דוד לנתן חטאתי לאדוני, ויש מקב. There is like a small bar. And the pasuk continues, ויאמר נתן אל דוד, גם אדוני העביר את חטאתך לא תמות. למה יש מקב? למה יש את הקו הזה באמצע הפסוק? חכמים is telling us, נתן הנביא הוא קטע את דוד המלך. נתן הנביא cuts off the words of David. What do you mean cut off the words of David? הוא אמר חטאתי להשם. What did he cut him off? אומר המדרש, דוד המלך is about to say, חטאתי, עוויתי, פשעתי. דוד המלך wanted to say, חטאתי להשם, עוויתי, פשעתי, which is the וידוי that we say, חטאנו, עווינו, פשענו, אנחנו ואנשי ביתנו, נכון? When he says, חטאתי להשם, קטע אותו. נתן הנביא, cut him off. מה אומר לו? What does it say? גם אדוני העביר חטאתך, לא תמות. כן? says the גאון מווילנה, ביקש דוד המלך לומר את המילים עוויתי פשעתי כדין המתוודה, אך נתן הנביא ראה בנבואה, he saw with the prophecy, כי דוד שב עד עמקי נפשו, עצרו והפסיקו בדבריו. וזהו שאמר דוד in תהילים, זה מזמור, I think it's כ"ה, חטאתי הודיעך ועווני לא כיסיתי, אמרתי אודה עלי פשעי לאדוני. ואתה נשאת עוון חטאתי סלע. ביקש דוד לומר חטאתי, עוויתי, פשעתי, אומר הגאון מווילנה. אך אתה ואתה נשאת את חטאתי סלע, לפיכך די באמירה. מה זה נשאת? הוא קטע אותו. הוא רצה להגיד חטאתי, עוויתי, פשעת, ואתה נשאת עוון חטאתי סלע. אומר הגאון מווילנה, הוא לא הספיק. אז למה המקב? המקב להראות שהוא קטע אותו. המקב is to make a separation between the words of David and the words of Natan, to say Natan didn't let him finish. Why didn't he let him finish? He saw the מתוודה מעמקי ליבו. הוא ראה שזו אמיתי. הוא אומר חטאתי, אני מודה, כן? דוד המלך הוא said, לא, תשמע, I told him to go back to the war. What's the story? He told אוריה, תחזור למלחמה. No, תשוב לביתך. Go back to your house. מה אוריה אומר לו? אתה לא תגיד לי מה לעשות, אני ה-general, I am going to tell you, I'm in charge of the army, you're not going to tell me what to do. הוא אומר, אוקיי, אתה רוצה ללכת, אלך, go, right? מה דוד אחרי התנצל? He could have said to נתן, תשמע, listen, it's not my fault. I told him to go back home, he wanted to go, so I told him go. חטאתי. אין ורוצה להוסיף, עוויתי, פשעתי. שהנביא ראה שהוא מעמקי ליבו, השם שלח לו נבואה, tell him, that's it, קיבלתי אותה. And that's the difference with לדעת להגיד חטאתי, לדעת להגיד שגיתי, לדעת להגיד פשעתי, I'm sorry, it's a mistake, right? Sometimes people have the difficulty to say that. שאול המלך, he had the difficulty, לא, חטא העם חמל, לא אני, חטא חמל העם, על המקום נקרא לו המלכות. Hashem took him off from to be king. If you're in such a level, right, to be the king of Israel, you have to be also in a level to say חטאתי, right? So that's the difference between David and Shaul HaMelech. Also, it says that I saw a story once that Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach Zatzal was a big posek, right? He was a posek ador. He was the Rosh Yeshiva of Kol Torah. נכון? They say before he became Rosh Yeshiva in Kol Torah, they were interviewing Rosh Yeshiva, the rabbis, candidates to be Rosh Yeshiva. When he went to interview with the Rabbanim over there, he came back home to his wife. When he came back home, he told his wife, I don't think they're going to take me as Rosh Yeshiva. So she asked him why. He told me, they asked me a question in the Gemara, and I told him I don't know. How we weren't prepared. He said, no, it was a hard question, and I wasn't prepared for such a question. עוד מדברים, he's talking to his wife, דופקים בדלת, they're knocking on the door. The girl goes to open, it's לרבנים. מזל טוב, מזל טוב. מזל טוב, מה מזל טוב? You got the job. Okay, בכבוד, תכנסו. איך, you have so many big rabbis that apply. אתה איש אמת. Why? He says, why you say that? He says, we asked you a hard question. We didn't expect you to know the answer. Because for this answer, you had to prepare a lot. You probably prepared, but you weren't prepared for this. But the fact you say, I don't know, זה מה שחיפשנו. We don't want the Rosh Yeshiva to tell our students, כל מיני פשטים, פלפולים, שלא אמת. אתה איש אמת. You are truth. You said, I don't know, מגיע לך לראש ישיבה. וככה הוא נבחר ראש ישיבה. then he became פוסק גדול. אתה מבין? אל תתבייש לומר, אני יודע. Don't be scared to say, I don't know. Right? You say, I don't know. Somebody asks you a question. אני צריך לעיין. I have to look it up. Right? אל תגיד לו תשובה. אני חושב, I think. What do you mean? The guy's going to do what you say. Don't say אני חושב, say I don't know. I'm going to check it out. Right? There is Gedolim, Rav Vadia. You know, Rav Vadia, his koach was, he was able to give shiur baradio. You know what's the radio? Shiur chai. People ask you questions. You have to know. אתה צריך לדעת. You cannot say I don't know. So זה הכל, אבל רב vadia זה היה, he knew ש"ס בעל פה, anything. I don't think he ever Rav Vadia said I don't know, because this was מדרגה, Maybe he could have said I don't know sometimes, but this was his koach, right? But sometimes, אתה לא במדרגה הזאת, אז תגיד, אני לא יודע, אני אחפש, I'll look it up, you understand? Don't be scared to say I don't know. That's them. And I want to show you Rashi. I think 3 or 4 times in Chumash, הוא עושה לא ידעתי. For example, כתוב אחד בבראשית, כתוב אחד מהפרשות, he says, רבקה אם יעקב ועשיו. אומר רש"י, אני לא יודע מה זה. מה אתה לא יודע מה זה? רבקה, אומר רש"י, אני לא יודע. מה התורה רוצה להגיד לנו? אני לא יודע. So, all the מפרשים, שפתי חכמים, אם אתה לא יודע, תרשום